What is going on, guys? Spasmatic here, back inside Destiny, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a review or setup build for my Sunbreaker on my Titan. And for this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my PvP and PvE setup for this build. And like all my other setup videos, these are basically all my opinions, like what I think is best to run. You guys do not have to run this, but I believe it is the best setup to run inside of PvP and PvE. So the setup for PvP, I mean. The setups between both of them are going to be really similar. So I'm gonna start off with PvP first, and for the grenade here, I usually like to run the incendiary grenade. I also like to run a fusion if I ever want to like run around with sticky grenades and just stick people with them. But incendiary is probably the best one to run with inside of PvP. As well, for the jump, you always want to run increased control, probably one of the best jumps the Titan has if you like to Titan skate across the map and get to places of the map faster than using increased height or catapult. So for the super hammer of soul, I like to run a forge master, so you're able to throw more hammers and the hammers cause bigger explosions. I've never really used sun charge or scorched earth, but I know that I've seen a lot of people run sun charge now, which I don't know why. I don't know if there's a buff or nerf or anything, but I've seen a lot of people using sun charges, which is kind of like a shorter charge, but you like shorter charge with your hammer or something like that. So it's pretty cool, but I've never really used it. I always ran with forge master. Onto the melee, the Sunstrike melee, I like to run Melting Point because you get to burn away your target's defense, so it gives them a burn. While burning, your targets are weakened to both you and your allies, so it's pretty good. I don't think I've ever used these either. Getting a killing blow with this Sunstrike is helpful in instantly recharging it, which is pretty good. And Thermal Vent and Sunstrike releases a solar explosion on hits, kills, create a sunspot that damages enemies inside. Not too bad, but I've always ran Melting Point for this. You guys can run whatever one you want. On it to the Titan codexes, I like to run max armor as always, and mid recovery and like a little bit more agility. For my Titan, I think this is the best I could get, or I could run with this mid recovery, really low agility, because with increased control, my agility really doesn't matter because I'll be Titan skating everywhere. I might just stick with this. I think this is a better setup than I ran before, so I'll probably stick with this Titan Codex 1 and Titan Codex 4 or IV. So for the middle column here, I like to run Flame Seeker. Your Hammer of Soul will alter its flight path to seek out your enemies, basically giving the Hammer of Soul tracking. So this did get a big nerf from that one patch. I forget which one it was, but it did get a big nerf. It does not track as hard as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. If it's a little bit near your enemy, it will track them and hit them for a pretty big explosion. So Explosive Pyre and Fleet Fire, of course, as always, I usually don't use these. I usually stick with the Flame Seeker for the tracking on the hammer, because who doesn't want tracking hammers? You know, it's pretty OP. So Flame Seeker, what I run for the middle column, and for the last column here, I like to run Cauterize, because regenerating your health, killing enemies, and getting your health back whenever you kill an enemy with your hammer is pretty overpowered. Kind of like Hungering Blade on the Blade Dancer. Whenever you get a kill with your hammer, your health will regen, which is really helpful if you're like in a huge mob of enemies inside of PvP on like Control or Clash or something like that, and you're about to die, you get a kill with your hammer and you got full health. Unless you're like burning from a Firebolt grenade or a Thorn, then it sucks to suck, because you're probably gonna not heal your health whenever you're burning like that. But Simmering Flames and Firekeeper, I have not really used. I never really was a Sunspot type, Sunbreaker type player like that, so I've never really had any experience with the Sunspots. But if you guys do use those, I'm sure they're great. I just haven't really like used them at all, so I have no experience with Sunspots. I've always ran Cauterize, Flame Seeker, Melting Point, Forge Master, and all this stuff. I've never really tried anything else, because when Sunbreaker was at its OP point, this was what everyone ran, and it was crazy. So since this is like the only perks I do run for my Sunbreaker, this is probably what I would run for PvE as well. The only difference is probably the grenade. Fusion Grenade is pretty good for PvE, sticking like ogres or something, or knights in the King's Fall raid, which is pretty helpful, as well as strikes, sticking them with a Fusion Grenade to boss with them or something like that is helpful as well. So for PvE, throw more hammers, Melting Point, Flame Seeker, and Cauterize. I know Cauterize is really helpful in PvE because there's a lot of enemies, and this is probably good. I know the Black Spindle mission is live today, so you want to do that, run Cauterize, because I know at the last part of the mission, there's like a ton of enemies, and having categorize on that is really helpful in that part. So this is probably what I would run for PvE as well. But I think I'd still run with Titan Codex 1, but this is probably what I'll be running for PvP and PvE. If you guys got any opinions on what you guys run, what you guys think is the best to run on a Sunbreaker or Titan Sunbreaker, be sure to put that down in the comment section down below. Be sure to check it out. I'll see what you guys run. Hopefully it's pretty good, because I will try some new setups on this character, because I haven't really messed with Sunbreaker that much. But this will be my review, my class setup and build for my Titan Sunbreaker for PvP and PvE. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later, back inside Destiny. Peace!